Welcome, welcome! This is Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. And again, we're here at the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo 2949 on ArcCorp at Area 18. And today is Day 6, Aegis Dynamics, as you can see from all the stuff plastered all over the walls. They have a lot of fun ships. They're very military oriented in most of their ships, but of course they have a few that aren't military in nature. They have some aggressive styling. I really like Aegis. They're one of my favorite manufacturers. See the big Aegis logo there. Last year they had an Idris that was in one of the hangars here, one of the halls. This year they don't have anything like that. They've only got flyable ships. Nothing that is concept or not released for flyable. I'm not sure why they decided to do that this year. That's kind of been the big disappointment, I think, for everybody, is that they don't get to see some of these concepted ships and how they look in the hall. So first up we have the Aegis Gladius and the Gladius Valiant. These are light fighters. They're very good, and they're one of my favorite ships, a lot of people's favorite ships. They're fast, they're maneuverable, good weapons, not the best in armor, but I mean, it's a light fighter, what do you expect, right? So, really good fighters. If you want to call them entry-level fighters, they're not really entry-level fighters if you ask me. They're just solid light fighters, very maneuverable. I really enjoy it. And you look at this big behemoth in front of me right now. This is the Reclaimer. It's the top of the line salvage ship. So you see the front, it's got the big claw, which we can't use yet, unfortunately. So you know, that's something we hopefully get to see in the next year. We'll take a look at my player character versus the landing gear here. See, it's quite a bit difference in size. It's an extremely large ship. And again, this is the top of the line salvage ship. There's going to be some other ships come out like the Vulcan, and I'm sure there's going to be some sort of medium salvage ship somewhere along the lines. The Vulcan's kind of a medium ship actually, so I don't know. In the back you have one of the, I think this is actually a cargo lift, because there's a personnel lift somewhere else, and for some reason it would not let me in. Somebody else gets in it just fine, so I don't know what the deal is. But you can see all the way up into the guts there. Just a massive, massive ship. Very industrial. One of the coolest designs that they have actually produced that we've gotten to see. I hope it actually works to where we can actually see how the salvage mechanic works in the game, especially with something that size. I think there's a lot of stuff to do before they actually get salvage in the game. But this is one of Aegis's non-military style ships. I mean, look at the size of it. I'm sure it wouldn't be easy to destroy in a fight just because of how industrial it is. So, yeah, I don't know. Let's hop down here. See, I was trying to pull the cargo lift down there, and he just wouldn't let me do it. I was like, screw this, we're gonna move on. Look at the size of the landing gear, it's just massive. The tonnage that this ship is just, it's insane. It's awesome. Let's walk over here to the Saber series. This is the Saber Comet. It is one of the Masters of Flight. It comes with scatter guns, and these sabers mount 4 guns. They're medium stealth fighters, so they mount 4 size 3 weapons, which makes them very formidable in combat. They're very maneuverable. They're not designed with armor in mind, so you want to be able to outmaneuver your enemies in these ships. This is the regular Saber. There's also one other Saber called the Saber Raven, which was an intel thing for one of their Optane drives that you could get. It's a very rare ship, kind of like the AMD Omega. from Mustang Omega. It's just a small amount of people that could get those ships. The Saber Raven is an EMP ship, so it's got 2 guns and then like 2 EMPs. As again, we can walk underneath this behemoth of a ship. The Saber series is an excellent group of fighters. Fantastic group of fighters. Many people put them on par with the Hornets. The Hornets are more tanky. The Sabres are more maneuverable. And then you have these true tanks here. These are long-range heavy fighters, I guess you want to call them. These are all the Aegis Vanguards. This is the Sentinel, which is the electronic warfare version of the Vanguard. You can see with the blue colors. Walk around. This comes in several variants. So you got the Harbinger, which we'll look at next. The Hoplite and the Warden. I believe that's the Hoplite there. I could be wrong. That might be the Harbinger. The Hoplite's across. So the Harbinger is the bomber variant. So it'll have size 5 torpedoes in addition to its normal armament. Whereas the Sentinel has the E-War package. So most likely some sort of distortion, jamming equipment, that sort of thing. The Hoplite, which we'll take a look at. This is the Warden here. The Hoplite is designed to carry Marines into combat, so you can drop down. It's kind of like a drop ship. There it is. So it's got jump seats in the back for your ground troops and ammo storage, weapon storage. The Warden is your mainstay fighter, so it's designed for long-range fighting. It's your basic loadout, I guess, if you want to call it that, for the Warden. There's the jump seats for the Hoplite. There's 6 of them and plenty of weapon racks. Take a look in here. I'm not going to show you all the Vanguard stuff because I've got those. Now, used to there was what was called a buck for the Vanguards, which means if you got a certain buck, you could change out the parts for like your Warden into a Harbinger or your Harbinger into a Sentinel. There's been all sorts of craziness about the bucks throughout the years, and I think they made the ship somewhat modular to where you can take parts from either buck if you have both and switch it out with other parts and kind of have a conglomeration of several different ships in one, but it would look similar to the original ship that you had. A little bit different than they kind of put themselves in a pickle there when they decided to do all those variants in the bucks, because I don't know, I think they just made it a little bit more difficult for themselves. They had to redesign the Vanguard completely so that people could actually use those bucks that they purchased. And it's BUK, it's a battle upgrade kit. So Aegis has so many ships that are flyable right now that one haul isn't enough. We've got to go to a second haul. So here we go. You want elevator music? Okay, here we go. So right on display is the Hammerhead in front of you, and then in front of that, the Eclipse. The Eclipse is the stealth bomber. It'll carry 3 size 9 torpedoes, and it's extremely hard to detect. It won't be good in a stand-up fight. It's only got a couple of guns that aren't, they're not the most powerful. But it's got a very small signature, very hard for enemy ships to detect, and should be able to fly under the radar and deliver a pretty good payload with 3 size, 9 torpedoes. That could be pretty devastating, especially if you're hitting smaller ships. The bigger ships, obviously, like capital ships, are going to be able to withstand a little bit more. I'd like to do some tests and see if, like a Hammerhead, for instance, could withstand the 3 size 9 torpedoes. I'm sure some other people have already done those tests out there. I know there's a few YouTube videos and whatnot. But I'd like to do some of those tests myself. A little harder to do when without help. So I'll have to get some people to help me. The big lit up Aegis sign in front of us here. We're gonna go around it. Let's check out this Retaliator bomber over here. Now, the Retaliator bomber, Retaliator itself, was sold in 2 different formats. It was sold as a bomber, which also has size, I want to say it has size 9 torpedoes as well, but it has 2 torpedo bays. It's got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, I think 4, 5 turrets. So it's really designed to be, you got to have a big crew to be able to use this ship effectively. It's pretty cool because the turrets, you know, they're all around. It's kind of like a World War II bomber where they had turrets all around it to hit any enemy fighters coming in. This is a big ship. You're going to get hit. It's not got the best shields and armor at the moment. I mean, you really got to launch your torpedoes from distance and get out of there. I really hope that they buff it a little bit, you know, in the coming while so that it becomes more effective as far as being able to fend off those fighters and stuff. As you can see, we're going to walk underneath the Hammerhead. The other variant of the Retaliator that was sold was kind of a raw Retaliator, so you could customize the bays and stuff. As we look at the cockpit from underneath here of the Hammerhead, so you could have like a Titan bay, which you could have your Titan suit in. You could have a dropship bay. You could have what else? Of course, the torpedo bay. They had many different modules that you could change in and out of the base Retaliator. I opted for the bomber because it came out first, and I didn't really see a point in me getting all the modules because I had other ships that could perform those functions. Though, with the amount of crew that you have to have in it, it may not be a bad idea. It may be a fantastic ship for those features. So the base with all the modules may not be bad at all. Something you might want to look into. So this is the Hammerhead. It is a, what are they calling it? I guess it's a gunship, a corvette. It's around that size. The size of a corvette, a small capital ship. It's got all these turrets that are sticking out of it. I believe it's what, there's 4 on the sides, like 2 on each side, and these are fully rotatable, so they have massive arcs of fire. And if you get this thing crewed, man, it can really devastate a lot of enemies. And we'll take a look inside of it here in a little bit. We're going to move on to the next ships and then come back to it. But this thing really is a anti-air, anti-space ship. I mean, if you're riding around in a frigate like an Idris or even a corvette like a Polaris, and you need anti-fighter support, that's the ship you want to call on. I mean, it's a beast. Unless they get the Redeemer in, and the Redeemer's supposed to actually do what it's set out to do, which is be a gunship, then who knows. We'll have to wait for that, though, because they haven't even started on that. So these are the Avengers. There's 4 different ones here. This is the Avenger Stalker, which is the bounty hunting ship. It's got gel cells in the back, so you can collect all your bounties. See these pods back here? These can all fit different prisoners. They had to remake this ship too. It was too small. So when they made it bigger, they made it better. You see there's a bed that you can log off on, by going to sleep. And then over here you got the Warlock. The Warlock is an EMP version, so it's all about e-warfare, and if you use an EMP on an enemy ship, their systems overload for a little bit. They take a little while to recover, so you can either use that to escape, or your teammates can come in and completely wipe out that ship. It's not bad in a fight itself. This would be, to me, it's underneath the Gladius. The Gladius is a better fighter than the Avenger. Some people would probably argue otherwise, but I fully believe that the Gladius is much better because of how maneuverable it is. But the Avenger is not a slouch. And this is the Avenger Titan. As you can see, this is the variant. That's the Masters of Flight variant. Not any different really from the regular Titan, just different paint job on the outside, a different weapons loadout. The Masters of Flight, they change the weapon loadouts usually in the paint jobs. That's about it. And they're kind of cool, that they actually have those special liveried ships with history behind them in it. So we take a look here at the Avenger Titan. this one is for freight. So yeah, the Titan series is for freight. It still can fight, so it's still good at fighting, but it's mostly used for gathering, cargo and running cargo and stuff. So it's kind of like an entry-level cargo runner that can do some bounty hunting, do some fighting here and there, do some small things like that. Especially if you don't want to step all the way up into like a freelancer. So let's go back over to the Hammerhead, and I'll just take you into the cockpit real quick. By the way, guys, if you like this video, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Appreciate everybody who has subscribed so far. You guys have been very encouraging, and I appreciate the encouragement, and I will continue to pump out videos as much as I can. Today's video I know is a little late, and it's not going to be in 4K, unfortunately, because it would take a while for it to come out. I'm just going to do this one in 1080p. I hope you guys understand. This morning I was with family because it's Thanksgiving. Well, yesterday was Thanksgiving, but I was out of town, so I didn't have a chance to do this video until the evening. So I'm only going to do 1080p just because it'll be easier, faster to get it out to you guys. I do appreciate the patience if you were waiting for the video and hadn't seen it, but I'm going to get it out as quick as I can. And tomorrow I'll be back on my regular schedule for these IAE videos. I'll get on first thing in the morning and make a video for day 7, which is going to be Drake. I'm looking forward that they're going to have the Kraken upgrade kit, hopefully. I doubt we'll see the Kraken in the hall. That would be awesome if we did, but I really doubt that they're going to put it in there. But Drake has some great ships, a lot of cool ships. Drake's the pirate group, but I digress. We'll talk more about them tomorrow. This is Aegis. Aegis is the military. Excuse me. Like my video, subscribe if you guys enjoy the video. Like I said, I'll keep the content coming. If you're looking for an organization to join, you can join my organization. It's Texas. That information will be down below. We also have a website separate from RSI. And if you guys are new to the game and like the way this game looks and wants to join, I have a referral code down below in the description as well. If you use that referral code, you get 5,000 credits, and I get referral points, which I don't have very many referral points at the moment. I'd love to get enough points to get the Million Mile High Club. I don't think that's going to happen for a while, but hey, that'd be awesome if it could. So you guys keep liking the videos, refer your friends, come see me, and get some referral points for me, whatever. I'll take it all. So yeah, so this was Aegis Day 6. They had 2 hangars, 2 halls. I hope you liked it. And I've got more stuff coming down the pipe for you. And I'll probably do some more ship rundowns here this weekend as well. So that's something to look out for. I hope you all had good Thanksgiving if you're in the U.S. And if you're not, then well, I hope you'll have a good weekend. This is Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy. We'll see you guys out in the verse.